So, fitball or gym ball sort of progressions, going from easiest to hardest. So a bit of an old school tool, kind of fallen out of fashion now. Used to be all the rage back in the early 2000s when I first started coaching people. I still think they're a great tool, just don't have to overuse them for everything. Just a few things they work really well for. So one of the things I quite like as a progression for people that have got back injuries and need to really build strength, endurance in their core muscles. Particularly useful for anyone that does sport in particular. It can be a great tool. So I'll show you a few progressions, easiest to hardest. I'll give you some things to try and sort of help challenge your core in a slightly different way. So one of the easiest ones, again, super old school exercise this one, like a gym ball rollout. So we make sort of like a praying position with the hands. We come in reasonably tight, try and keep our back straight, and then we just roll out and then come back in. So it's nice and smooth. Try and get that posture nice and straight and use our brace to help control and stop us from rounding our back or just collapsing forward completely. So for this one you can just go for sort of repetitions, nice and smooth. Anywhere from sort of 8 to 15 I think works quite well. If I want to make it just a little bit more challenging, you can sort of come out and we can turn it into holds for time. So we start at sort of 5 seconds and then come back in, and then eventually you can sort of build up almost like you're doing like an advanced plank, and we can hold for sort of 30 seconds to a minute like this. Okay, once we have it on our knees, obviously the easiest progression to go to is then to go to our toes so that we have to lift and stabilize all of our body weight. So we'll get the mat out of the way and we'll come onto our toes. So what we do from here, what I like to do now on my grips, they're doing this because it gets a bit too loose, is make like a gable grip for those who are into grappling, rather than sort of interlocking my fingers because you can sort of hurt your fingers. So like that, come over the top, and you're basically going to keep your weight pretty much in your elbows. So from here, nice wide stance, so toes and elbows are in contact. So the easiest one is probably to start with is just holding for time, a bit like an advanced plank. So sort of going from anywhere from 20 to 60 seconds, just trying to hold still. And down for time. Once we've got that, what we can do then, just to make it kind of the next sort of level and a bit more, again, applicable to sort of sport, particularly grappling, is that we can add in sort of multi-directional challenges. There's a couple ways that we can do it. So probably the easiest way, just to start off for sort of reps, is just to do sort of small circles, and maybe do 5 one way, and then come back and do 5 the other way. There's a bit of a progression. So that's not bad. I mean, it's a little bit boring and it's not quite like real life because we're also a bit more unpredictable. So what I actually prefer to do when people are ready is we'll set them a time of, again, somewhere between 30 to 60 seconds, but I'll let them make it a bit more random and a bit more aggressive with the movement. So same position. So just doing little circles, you can do forward and back, you can do side to side pulses, diagonals, you can whip one way, whip the other, maybe do 3 one way, 3 the other, 2 back, forward, side to side. A bit more random, a bit more challenging, and a bit more like real life because the movement's a little bit more unpredictable. Plus, I think it makes it a bit more interesting for your brain because you sort of play a bit of a game with yourself. Again, sort of 30 to 60 seconds is a really good challenge. And just make it hard for yourself. But the goal is try and keep a nice straight line and make sure that anytime you move, your pelvis and your hips aren't just dropping all over the place. You have to keep everything square the whole time and resist against those movements. So everything else is stable, it's just that your elbows are moving. And you can tell, good challenge, real good progression for people. They've got access to a gym ball. And I think it's super useful. Again, great for those with back issues because you need to build strength endurance to protect and hold that spine in good posture under time. So great tool, give it a try.